Evaluation of sialic acid in type 2 diabetes mellitus patients in NCR, Delhi. This study was conducted in the School of Medical Sciences and Research, Sharda Hospital, Sharda University, Greater Noida, India. Diabetes mellitus is a lifelong progressive disease and is one of the groups of metabolic disorders which is characterized by elevation of blood glucose levels, producing hyperglycemia. It mainly occurs due to increase in the insulin resistance and beta cell dysfunction. It leads to long-term dysfunction of various organs such as heart, kidneys, eyes, nerves, and blood vessels, which cause several microvascular complications such as cardiovascular disease, nephropathy, retinopathy, neuropathy, and other debilitating conditions. Type 2 diabetes mellitus has become very common throughout the world during the last few decades. In India alone, 40.6 million cases were found in 2006 and expected to increase to 79.4 million by 2030. It has been suggested that increasing blood glucose levels encourage the inflammatory process that lead to diabetes development and its macrovascular complications. Sialic acid, also known as N-acetyl-neuraminic acid, is one of the inflammatory markers of an acute phase reaction and an important component of glycoproteins and glycolipids. It is found to have positive linkage to most acute phase reactants. Sialic acid is also used to measure the acute phase reaction, as many of the glycoproteins have sialic acid on their oligosaccharide chain terminal part. Patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus may have high serum sialic acid concentrations, and evidence is also available that this may be associated to the extent of their macrovascular complications. An increased serum sialic acid level may also serve as a strong predictor of human cardiovascular deaths. Studies done in South India have suggested that the concentration of serum sialic acid in type 2 diabetes mellitus is increased, but as per the best of our knowledge, there is no documentation for any study done in National Capital Region, Delhi. Hence, our study is aimed at to evaluate the association of serum sialic acid with blood glucose levels in diabetics and non-diabetics in National Capital Region, Delhi. This study was carried out in 2019 on 70 individuals between the age group of 30 to 70 years. The study group consisted of 35 individuals who were type 2 diabetics, 15 males and 20 females, and 35 individuals who were not diabetics, out of which 16 males and 19 females. Inclusion criteria: all the newly diagnosed or already diagnosed patients of diabetes mellitus taking oral hypoglycemic medication were recruited in this study. According to the American Diabetes Association diagnostic criteria, a fasting blood glucose level of 126 milligram or higher was taken as the level. Exclusion criteria: excluded from the study were patients of type 2 diabetes mellitus with association of acute and chronic inflammatory disorders, hypertension, pregnancy, HIV/AIDS drug patient, and thyroid disorders. Blood collection, separation, storage, and analysis of the samples. Following overnight fasting, 2 ml of venous blood sample was collected in plain vacuum cleaner using all aseptic precautions to estimate serum sialic acid, and 1 ml of blood sample was collected in fluoride vacuum cleaner to estimate the fasting blood glucose. The plain vacuum cleaner was centrifuged for 15 minutes at 3000 revolutions to separate the serum, and the serum was stored at -20 degrees centigrade until sialic acid was estimated. Fasting blood glucose was estimated by DOD-POD method using Vitros 5600 fully automated biochemistry analyzer. The percentage CV of this method is 1.3%. Serum sialic acid was measured by Ehrlich's method according to the method reported by Scheidel G. et al. 400 microliters of serum was mixed with 1.2 ml of 5% perchloric acid for 5 to 10 minutes at 100 degrees centigrade and centrifuged at 2000 revolutions for 5 minutes. The supernatant for 400 microliters was mixed with 400 microliters of Ehrlich's reagent. After incubation at 100 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes, a spectrophotometer was used to read the optical density at 525 nanometers. Statistical analysis. Independent sample t-test used to see mean difference between the two groups of measurement scale data. The p-value of less than 0.05 was considered as significant at 95% confidence interval. The p-value below 0.001 is regarded as highly significant. Statistical software SPES version 24 was used. The results of the various investigations conducted on the two study groups are shown in table 1 and 2. The results are compared between the case and the control group. Fasting blood glucose in case group and control group have been shown in table 1. A highly significant difference is observed in case group as compared to the control group, with higher values found in the case group. There is 92.39% increase in the case group as compared to the control group in the case of fasting blood glucose. For serum sialic acid, in the case group and the control group, a highly significant difference is found in these two groups. A highly significant difference is found in the group of case group when compared to the control group, with higher values found in the case group. In case group, there is an increase of 93.14% compared to the control group. We come to table. Correlation of the fasting blood glucose and serum sialic acid in case group. Correlation between fasting blood glucose and serum sialic acid in the case group has been shown in the table 2. The case group data were analyzed by Pearson correlation and showed statistically significant positive correlation of serum sialic acid and blood glucose level. Diabetes mellitus is one of the world's biggest health problems, including in India. Much attention has recently been paid to the relation between inflammation and type 2 diabetes mellitus. The present study was conducted in order to assess the relationship between the blood glucose levels and serum sialic acid in non-diabetics as compared to type 2 diabetic mellitus. We observed that serum sialic acid levels were increased in type 2 diabetes mellitus compared to the non-diabetics with a statistically significant p-value of less than 0.001. The results of the present study suggest that the inflammation is involved in type 2 diabetes mellitus pathogenesis. The inflammation could be an early indicator of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Also, elevated serum sialic acid concentration in type 2 diabetes are observed in various studies. Vascular permeability is controlled by sialic acid as it is a part of the cell membrane. The amount of sialic acid in the vascular endothelium is found to be high, and therefore the microvascular damage caused by type 2 diabetes mellitus contributes to a release of sialic acid into the bloodstream and to an overall increase in the sialic acid concentration. Elevation of blood levels could promote the inflammation by increased oxidative stress. Increase in the insulin resistance and hyperglycemia also promote inflammation, which may be a factor linking the diabetes to the development of atherosclerosis. Indeed, many of the studies have shown that if tissue damage, tissue proliferation, or tissue inflammation occur, serum sialic acid concentration is increased in pathological conditions. Damage to the tissue caused by the diabetes mellitus vascular complications cause cytokine release from the cellular infiltration. It activates an acute phase response which leads to the discharge of acute phase glycoprotein from the liver with sialic acid into the bloodstream, resulting in increased concentration of serum sialic acid. The present study done in the National Capital Region, Delhi, the serum sialic acid concentration increases with increase in the blood glucose concentration in type 2 diabetic patients, which is concomitant with other studies. Therefore, serum sialic acid could be considered as an early marker of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Coming to the conclusion, on the basis of the present study, it is concluded that the serum sialic acid levels are found to be increased in type 2 diabetic patients of Delhi NCR, which reflect that these patients were at the risk of developing microvascular complications. Therefore, Estimating sialic acid levels may aid in early diagnosis and prevention of microvascular complications caused by type 2 diabetes mellitus. This was a cross-sectional study limited to the specific area. Therefore, there is a limitation in the study. Therefore, longitudinal study needs to be conducted on larger geographical area for more reliable conclusions. Thank you for your kind attention.